first thing I want you to appreciate is the scale of this monument. I'm going to walk down. I'm going to point out the ditches, what I think are ditches, what you're going to prove one way or t'other are or are not ditches, and then get a feel for how big this monument was and how big this set of ditches on the east side were. So. You can all see the soil changes.
Yeah.
They're not bad, they're pretty clear here. 2 nice ditches, lots of work for people. We've got excellent opportunity to recover stratified artefacts, dating evidence, charred material for radiocarbon dates and all the rest of it.
I'm kind of enjoying most of it actually because it's all new. There's a whole language to learn. So I was quite excited because I've got to use this, and yesterday I got to use a mattock, and then
that is a trowel.
That's a trowel.
Yes, and the mattock is
is one of those.
Yes, good.
And I also got to use a brush today, so that's real progress.
Yes.
Oh, thank you so much.
But the really interesting thing is to see where we think, about where Karen is, we think is the highest level to which winter water level would have been. We want to relate that to the ditches to see if any of the ditches were in fact moats and held water.
But there's something else I hope that you've spotted. You need to use your eyes and look down the bottom there. There's something sticking out. Yes, it's a bit of wood. Now we don't know exactly whether it's just a tree that's fallen over, but we're hoping, maybe, we're speculating, we like to make things up, it's part of what being an archaeologist is all about, that it might be maybe a line of posts, maybe it formed a wall.
Okay, so we are in a ditch that we hope is a promontory fort, and this is the biggest ditch we have currently, and we can see we've got a trench going right across it, and you can see in here quite a large amount of stone deposit. Just behind us in the spoil there you can see the stone that's already come out, large cobbles of stone, and we've got more in here yet still going down, and so far finds wise not been hugely rich. We have some bits of charcoal coming through. We've also had a few bits of medieval pottery, a few small sherds in here, quite sort of generic redware, and this piece here that's pinned in section does have a wee bit of green glaze on it as well, but not hugely impressive in itself, but nice indicative and dateable evidence.
What we're doing, we're in a kettle hole here, so where you see these white layers, anaerobic layers, this has been scoured by glaciation, a plug of ice in the past. If you look here, maybe take some of it out, you can see marks showing different horizons. You've got the growing layer at the top and layers of different coloured peat. And then at the bottom here is the white layer, which is equivalent to the anaerobic layer there. What we want to do
That's how we did it first. We tried with the spade and then we just
find out
grabbing it.
at what horizon people were potentially building or constructing or had activities. We've pushed in a piece of plastic piping which is open on one side. Then it will go for microscopic analysis. We're hoping to find pollens and to be told what was happening at what level, and it will give us an indication of time spans as well.
Here we are at Tarradale, Gilchrist's. Trench 1 over there, 2 on the top and 7 going off down the side. So here we are looking out across Trench 1, which runs across the ditches of our potential promontory fort. And you can see we've half sectioned all 4. We can see 3 on the crop mark, and 4 have now been exposed. See our easterlymost ditch with a few good layers in it. You see that dark band and then lighter ones underneath. And then our big ditch here, substantially larger than the other 3. And there's several finds of medieval pottery come out of here. It's clearly been backfilled with a lot of large stones. You can see them up there on the spoil heap. And then the next one, again, reasonable amount of stone in it, but a bit of a different shape, a bit more V-shaped. And then our bonus ditch, which we didn't see on the crop mark, but there's most certainly something here. Quite badly damaged, probably from ploughing when they did plough into this part of the site. Then as we step out of trench 1, we're on the ridge here, and over here, trench 7, which we've taken a sledge out to see what we might find down the sides. You can see the guys down there taking another peat sample that we've discussed before.
It's the ditch, yeah? The thing we saw in the picture? Yeah. So we've just taken a slice through it. We haven't opened up the whole thing. We just want to look at a little bit of it to try and work out what it was like. Roland has been digging in this bit. So would you mind telling us what you found when you were digging this out?
As I was digging down, I came through different colours of soil, which suggests that it gradually filled up over time in different ways. And right at the bottom, we're on to the same colour, the orange colour, as that.
I think it's interesting that that one over there is that side, and this one over here is this side. We don't know for certain, but I think it implies that this ditch and this ditch were dug at different times.
Well, it started yesterday. We got the first glimpse of some possible prehistoric pot, but this morning from this area here, which is a nicely sealed context down between this this boulder tumble, right in the bottom, we've found this morning a couple of rim sherds.
Fantastic.
Of a very dark, almost certainly prehistoric pot. The temper they've used is quite coarse.
Yeah.
Very poorly reduced, very, very fragile.
This is trench 9. We're digging it because there was a lush mark on the area. We were massacred by this topsoil, and then suddenly it changed colour just here. So we went,
Other ones just coming through here.
other one what?
Stake holes.
We're thinking this is a possible stake hole here.
I'm looking at that.
Oh, what's that?
Roman pottery.
Oh, we have a live find by the look of it.
As it happens.
Then as I came back, there was this little orange bit of pottery, which somebody has said is a bit old, possibly prehistoric.
I saw the red and black of the this apparent stone sticking out, and when I pulled it out,
Fantastic.
it's all bubbly and beautifully smooth on the inside, so it looks like, you can see all the bubbles there, looks like a bit of furnace lining. A bit of furnace lining.
Excellent. And just here, still in the section, I'll zoom in, we've got a piece of iron which will be extracted either today or tomorrow.
I'm at the bottom. I have found the bottom.
Okay, and you're at the bottom of what,
I'm
do you
at the
think?
bottom of this ditch.
Okay.
Very pleased to be here.
John thought there might be some circular features at this end of the trench.
All right.
But we need to have a good clean before we can establish that.
That's holes. Yeah, we saw holes that have gone this way and that way and everywhere.
Earlier today, when cleaning back the topsoil, a nice jug handle appeared, possibly medieval. And as you'll see now, there's actually different colours actually in the trench.
So here we are. It's the second day at the Balvati promontory. You can see we're on a bit of a rise here with a nice outlook. The cottages over there. We've got two exciting trenches over here. So we'll go over to trench 3. This is our long trench, which we were hoping to pick up a portion of a big circular feature we picked up on a crop mark. Here you can see there's a few big round dark features in there with a post setting there, and then here's what we think is the ditch of our big round enclosure running across there like that. And then we've got various bits and bobs inside, possible plough scores or furrows from rig and furrow, scattering of stones and some possible burning down this end. You see that darker orange sand, probably heat affected. So to trench 4. See, we have an enormous pit in here basically. Enormous pit feature, again with some possible furrow marks running across it, and we've been putting a big slot across that today. Just getting started on that one. Lots of charcoal coming out of it, not much else. We are at Balvati again. Folks have gone home for the day. So we'll have a look at the progress that's been made. And trench 3 here. You can see there's what looks like a nice post setting with some stone packing down there. We've just about bottomed out our ditch, looking very convincingly like an enclosure ditch now, so that gives us a clue to our nice circular crop mark. This area of burning is starting sort of being narrowed down. A few fines in there as well, which is quite nice. You can see we've been making progress here as well, peeling our way down. We've got this nice stony band has appeared coming through there and just appearing on the other side as well, which is quite nice. Still more to come off, but making very good progress. There's also this big charcoal-y spread down here, which looks like it might have been cut into the other fills.
So it's Tarradale through time day 12, and we have some somewhat challenging conditions today. The special people are sat in here. So these are the special people who've in the ascendancy, and us mere mortals, as you can see.
Yesterday I did a half section in that pit there, and took a couple of sample bags of the fill and didn't find anything else. There were bits of charcoal in it, but nothing very big at all. And then today somebody else was digging in this one. Yesterday they found 2 or 3 bits of ancient pottery.
We might have a post pipe there, but that will be for tomorrow to investigate, I think.
Joyce has been working in what we call, we thought was maybe a ditch, and she's taken a half section there, which has come up quite nicely. But there's lots of stones here, which are a bit of a mystery. I have been working on 2 post holes, or 2 possible post holes. One here is a bit doubtful, but the other one is quite nice. There was packing stones around the edge here, and it's about 10 inches deep now, but we're going to go down further tomorrow. It still continues, but that's the half section there. There's the post hole there, and we've just taken a half section.
Well, this is our big pit trench where we had a big splodge on the aerial pictures in the crop marks, and we appear to have pit fill coming in from about here right the way through to here. So this is all fill of the pit in here. All we found really in the pit so far is charcoal, apart from at the topsoil where we had some medieval pot, so that might indicate that the pit predates the medieval, hopefully. Cut into the pit, however, we have this charcoal rich feature here, round feature with burnt material in it. Lots of charcoal in there, big great lumps of charcoal, and just where I'm working here we may possibly have a further darker charcoal rich feature also cut into the main pit, but jury's still out on that. I'm still trying to clear it up and define exactly what's going on. And over here we have half sectioned a post pit, we think. Okay, which might mean there was some superstructure over the pit, possibly, who knows.
I'm just filling in some contact sheets for the post pit that I've been digging, and they're quite complicated because you need to describe what the fill is and what's above and below it, what you found in it, if anything.
What have you been drawing? Can you show us?
It's the south-facing section of the ditch that was in Trench 3.
That's interesting now, because the bone that I got was the same as this joint.
I must be going bonkers.
Simon's trying to set up the datum line.
Sorry?
Simon's got the tape, trying to adjust the tape with the string. So hopefully the string by now is level, and the tape is going at the full length of the trench.
We're in Trench 6, and we were looking at this potential ditch. I think it's not more than a potential ditch, running out of the balk here and running down at an angle towards the other end there. It looked as though it's about 2 meters wide on the topsoil stain, but when we investigated it, we put in 3 slots, and when we investigated the slots we found that in fact the actual ditch went down a metre broad, and it went down to 60 centimetres in this middle slot here. What was really interesting was when we got to the end here, we found a terminus. The actual ditch didn't go any further than this bit here. It rounded off and was very definitely the end of the ditch at that point. They're suggesting that there was some kind of entranceway or something happening here. This appears to be a post hole of some sort. It's outside the ditch line, been suggested that it's a post hole for a gate.
Today is our open day, and as you see we have a few visitors.
It has been recut at some point, so there was a ditch, and then someone's come along and dug into it again, and it's given it this nice profile where it kind of sloping sides and a flattish base. There's a big kettle hole behind you.